A jam-packed day in the life as an engineering student and rower at the University of Warwick. So I woke up and did Bible study first thing at home in the morning, before I then went to boil an egg to have with my breakfast. How nice is my new cast iron pot? It's so pretty. I packed all of my food to take to campus today because it was about to be such a long day. I got into my all-in-one for rowing and had my breakfast on the go into campus because this morning I had rowing team photos, which was so fun. Rowing is such a big club compared to rugby, so these photos took so much longer than I expected based on what I'd experienced with rugby. The photos turned out so cute though, so I made sure to buy those. The team photo shoot ran over so much that it made me so late to my lecture. I only made it for the second half, but it was still okay. It was my first lecture of the day and it was on vehicles. Tell me why matrices have made a comeback for fourth year though. Pretty rude. Over lunchtime, I met up with some people, including my ice hockey friend who had her team photo shoot. We went by the Christian Union tent who had an event going on. I also saw my first year flatmate who had a really exciting invitation to give me. I had a little catch up, then after this, I made my way to the engineering common room to have lunch. I ended up bumping into some of my friends in engineering, having my lunch with them, and then the fire alarm went off, which was so ideal. So we all headed out and just took that as a break. They told us to leave all of our important belongings behind, yet we saw one of the lecturers with an electronics toolbox. There's a fire! Yeah, there was no fire though, thank God, but I still took it as a sign to make my way to the library and study from there. So I did a little bit of work towards my group project in the library before going to my next lecture, which was on automation and robotics. I sat with one of my friends and look how insane his timetable is. I can never complain because there's always an engineer that has it worse than me. That was my last lecture, so I made my way to the sports hub and they had this Red Bull car blasting music outside, which was funny. Today was special because we all had our 2K tests for rowing. I was so nervous, especially seeing people do theirs before me and knowing that so many people were going to be watching me do this 2K fighting for my life for 8 minutes. But after I was done and I started watching other people, it was a fun vibe in there. I was sitting there thinking, this is such an insane sport though. Why do we do this? So after my 2K, I then made my way to my friend's charity quiz and bake sale, which was so cute. She was raising money. I took a quick break to run to warm up my food so I could have that for my dinner during the quiz. My team won, of course. Then after the quiz, I made my way to the library. I must have inhaled so much dust during that 2K because I was sneezing like there was no tomorrow. I did the tiniest bit of work. Then to end the day, I made my way to a hotel to meet up with my mum, who has come up to Warwick to visit my brother and I.